Hi everyone! Well, I'm headed out to harvest some mint today. It is supposed to be a very hot day today. Mint is such a refreshing herb. I've got to have some in the kitchen to make it through this hot day. So I thought I'd bring you guys along with me. Let me grab my harvest basket and we are just going to step right over here to the container garden. This is right outside my kitchen, so it's a really fun place to pop out here, snip some herbs, and then bring them right back into the kitchen. So let me turn the camera around and let's take a look at the container of mint. This thing is growing like crazy. Wait till you see it. Hey Mac, how's it going this morning? Well, I actually have mint growing in a couple places here on my container garden. First off, I have it here in the 5-gallon Cali Kim Smart Pots. I think I've had it here for probably a couple of years now, and it is in sore need of harvest. You can kind of see where I harvested off the front there where it's shorter. In the back, it's much, much taller. The crazy thing about this pot is it looked completely dead over the winter time. I forgot to water it. Actually just stuck it up on a shelf out here on the deck and I thought it was dead. However, once I rehydrated it and fertilized it, it popped right back to life. And that's the crazy thing about mint, is it is almost impossible to kill. So if you want an easy to grow herb, mint is your jam. However, you want to grow it in a container because it is super invasive. It spreads like crazy and you must keep it contained, otherwise it will spread all over your entire garden beds. I do have another variety over here in the long Smart Pots raised bed. That's a 6-foot long Smart Pots, and this I planted a couple of years ago in here, and I believe it's called the chocolate mint variety. Now I almost wish I wouldn't have planted it in here because it does spread like crazy. It's a bit invasive even in this raised bed. It doesn't have near as strong of a flavor as the peppermint, but it's still an absolutely delicious variety and a fun thing to add to your drinks. And I am at the end of the video going to share with you how I like to consume it, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So just real quick to show you how invasive mint could be. I believe when I planted this chocolate mint, I just popped a little plant that I got from the garden center right in the corner here, and it has spread. You can see it's grown over the edges. I've harvested this many times, believe me, and I even tried to pull it out over the winter time. It's over here, it's over here, it's over here, it's all the way over here. It's actually spreading into the back of the raised bed. There's some mint trailing over the back. So the roots just kind of spread throughout the soil. They're very difficult to pull out. So you can see what a problem it could be if you plant mint in your garden beds, and you don't want mint in your garden beds because it will completely take over. So take care, plant it somewhere that is definitely contained. The 5-gallon Smart Pots are perfect for it, as long as you keep it harvested. Before we harvest, let me just bring you in close and show you here where I just harvested, maybe last week. You can see how the stems are kind of cut here. You do want to harvest mint before it goes to flower. Now you can leave some flowers if you want to for the bees. I personally don't prefer to do that because I don't want the seeds spreading all over my garden. So in just a moment, I'll take you down below and I'll show you some mint that's flowering, that's just about ready to go to seed that we're going to harvest there too. So it's kind of flopping over the sides of the container, which I really don't want. I don't want it outgrowing this container, which it actually is. I can feel the roots kind of on the side here. Now this is a Smart Pots, which means that the roots aren't going to get root bound. It has plenty of airflow and circulation in there, but we don't want to overdo it. So I'm just going to take the mint here, grab a handful, super easy to harvest. Just snip it here as it's kind of flopping over the sides. Now, when you first harvest your mint, it's going to look very bare, but I'm telling you guys, it will grow back so fast. That's the awesome thing about mint, is before you know it, you've got a whole nother crop to harvest. So I tend to just have one container here, and then it usually lasts me all summer long into the winter time. It is a super hardy plant. So here in Southern California, as long as I keep it harvested, it will keep on growing and producing for many months, and even in the winter time. I am going to fill my harvest basket full today. The cool thing about mint too is, oh my gosh, you guys should smell the aroma. It is an amazing scent. So I'm just going to hold some up to the camera here to see if you guys can smell it. Mac, do you want some? Don't think he's too interested. And there are so many wonderful, wonderful uses for mint. I'll show you those at the end of the video. I'm gonna just show you this harvest basket. Doesn't this look beautiful? So pretty. Mint actually makes for beautiful decor as well. So you can see I'm just kind of snipping off the branches that were kind of flopping over. If you have a smaller mint plant, you can just come in here and you can even snip it down to the very, very bottom, and then it will grow back for you within a week or so. As we're headed down to the main part of the garden, I just want to share with you guys one of my favorite ways I've recently used mint, and that is on the 4th of July. I grabbed some garden fresh cucumbers from the garden and put some basil on it, salt and pepper, a little bit of Italian dressing, and then just crushed up some mint, just a little bit, maybe a tablespoon or two, so not to overpower the cucumbers. I want to tell you guys, it was one of the best cucumber salads I ever had. It was so delicious. And I got to show you the sunflowers here as we're headed down the hill. We just did a video rescuing the giant sunflowers a couple of days ago, and these are already blooming. So I'm going to see if I can get a shot of it. Taking a chance, putting my camera over the fence so you guys can see the blooms, because right now they're facing the sun. Isn't that amazing? There's some blooming along the steps here. I just love sunflowers. So I've got my mint growing in one of the red galvanized containers here at the back of this particular garden bed. This mint has been there for about 10 years. So let's go in for a closer look, okay? I get lots and lots of questions about the red containers here. All they are is pieces of a galvanized steel pipe. These were actually reclaimed from a local farmer, cut into pieces, painted red, and then plopped down here in this garden bed to get some visual interest, some color, and I absolutely love them. It's a great spot to keep mint contained. So the mint I have growing here, you can see it is flowering, which makes me just a tad bit nervous because I don't want it spreading all over this garden bed, but no worries, we're going to take care of that. I really don't like to let the flowers go to seed because, like I said, then they spread all over this area, which is exactly what I don't want. You can definitely let your mint go to seed. The bees do absolutely love it, but I'm going to go ahead and trim this mint up today, help it look a little bit more neat and tidy, and then maybe we'll take the flowers into the house and enjoy them there. Now, I actually just realized as I was getting ready to harvest this mint that it's actually growing outside of the red container, and I do not want it invading the space. So I'm going to go ahead and chop it off right at the base of the plant. So that is the cool thing or the bad thing about mint, depending on which way you look at it, is that you can cut it at the base, and more likely than not, it will grow right back. This one I'm kind of hoping doesn't. So I may have to come in here and harvest it time after time or try and pull the roots up so it doesn't invade this area. But when you are growing it in a container, what you can do, if it kind of starts to look a little bit messy, a little bit woody, you can chop it way back at the base to get some fresh new growth. And I'm talking chop it right at the base of the soil. So although I cut this little mint stem down to the nub here, see that teeny tiny little stem? I promise you that will grow back and you'll get some really nice healthy mint leaves, which it looks beautiful in drinks. Now that I've got my mint harvest basket and my mint flowers, let's head back up to the deck and I want to show you guys how I love mint every single day. I wanted to show you real quick here at the end of the video one of my very favorite ways to eat mint or consume mint in a way that's super refreshing, and I probably do this every single day when I have mint growing. So first off, I've washed some of the mint that I just harvested, and I like to pack a glass full of water as full of as many mint leaves as I possibly can. So I put my washed mint right down into the water, and oh, I forgot to tell you guys, a way to release the oils and the fragrance in the mint, and I just learned this recently from one of my friends, is you smack the mint. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how amazing this smells. That will release the oils into the water. So your mint water is absolutely refreshing, and it's so good for you too. Oh, I just love this stuff. Look at all that mint in there. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, amazing. And the longer it sits, the better it gets. Now, one way that we have just got into doing is actually with sparkling water. This is especially delicious when you just come in from the garden. You want that little bit of bubble, but since we don't drink soda, we love sparkling water. This is actually a strawberry mango sparkling water. And what Jerry and I like to do is add a squeeze of lime here. You can use lemon juice, you can use orange juice, whatever you want, but this just brings it over the top, gives it a little bit of an extra zip. And then smack yourself some mint leaves, pop it in the glass, and it is extra refreshing. So cheers to you, you guys. So good. Now let me show you one quick little way to store your mint. I don't like to wash my mint until I consume it. So here I'm actually going to pop the flowers, because I think they're really pretty, in this glass of water. And then I'll take some of my mint leaves and just put the stems together. Put them in this jar of water. I'm going to need a much larger jar to store all this. And you can either store this in the refrigerator, but I tend to just store it right on my kitchen counter so I can grab some mint, pop it in my water, and it just looks so beautiful. You can decorate with it, put it in the middle of your table, whatever you like to do, but it's a really way to keep your mint lasting longer, and it will definitely last longer if you store it in the refrigerator. Comment below how you like to use mint in your garden, how you like to use it in your kitchen. I would love to hear some more tips. Make sure you do subscribe, click that bell notification, and give me a thumbs up. That really does help us out. And also make sure you head over to CaliKimGardeningHome.com. Check out my seed shop containers. Got the CaliKim 5 gallons over there. And I really appreciate you hanging out here in the garden with me today. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers to you.